Clapperboard Part 1. The High School Locker. What if I told you that a high school locker, abandoned for years, held a dark secret that not only connected multiple disappearances, but forced the entire school to be shut down, permanently? This is the story of Locker 13. The cursed locker that didn't just contain bones, but a horrifying list of names yet to vanish. Welcome to the most chilling school mystery you've never heard of. This is a true crime documentary 2025 exclusive. The smell that started it all. It wasn't the kind of smell you'd expect in a school. Not gym socks. Not burnt cafeteria pizza. This was different. A sharp, metallic odor began leaking into the halls of Haverton High. And it wasn't long before students started whispering. One sophomore, Ricky Morales, noticed a dark stain oozing from Locker 13, welded shut years ago. At 8:17 a.m., he reported it. By 8:45, the school was evacuated. By noon, Haverton High was a crime scene. And by nightfall, it would become the next viral case in the True Crime Documentary 2025 series. Because what investigators pulled from Locker 13 would haunt them forever. The locker that was never meant to be opened. Locker 13 had been sealed since 2023, after a student named Rachel Dubois vanished near it. Local legends said it was cursed. No one assigned to it lasted the semester. Some transferred. Others disappeared. Rachel. She was never found. Until that morning in 2025, when janitor Mr. Clint pried open the rusted door. Inside. Small blue diamond, a human jawbone. Small blue diamond, blood-soaked textbooks. Small blue diamond, a VHS tape marked, "Play Me." Small blue diamond and a half-rotted hoodie belonging to Rachel Dubois. Students screamed. Staff wept. And the news exploded. Remains of missing teen found in sealed locker. True crime horror in high school. The locker feeds, confiscated evidence and digital clues. Dean Keller, a senior, had filmed the entire scene. Before the cops arrived, he caught something disturbing. Inside the locker, scrawled in red ink. "This is the first. The rest are beneath." In the background of his video, a figure stood in the shadows, wearing a janitor's uniform. But it wasn't Clint. And it wasn't anyone who worked there. In fact, no one could identify the man at all. Vice Principal Medina confiscated the phone immediately. But not before Dean uploaded a snippet to TikTok. Within hours, the clip had over 8 million views, and hashtag Locker13 trended across TikTok, YouTube, and Reddit. The tape from the janitor's closet. Detectives recovered a tape from the janitor's closet, labeled, "Do Not Tape Over, December 9, 23. On it. Mantelpiece clock, a time-stamped video of Rachel Dubois walking alone down a hallway. School backpack. She stops at Locker 13. Eyes looks inside. Door steps into it. And vanishes. She never comes back out. The door closes on its own. Footage distortion follows. Screams echo faintly in the static. This was the smoking gun. Rachel didn't run away. She was taken. By something, or someone, inside that locker. The man who died twice. Investigators began combing yearbooks, trying to identify the mystery janitor. Shockingly, the same face appeared in school yearbooks dating back to 1986. Always in the background. Never named. Facial recognition matched him to Isaiah Griggs, a janitor who died by suicide in 1993, in the school basement. But he kept showing up. In 1995, 2001, 2017, and even 2023. How can a dead man appear in photos decades later? This wasn't just a case of mistaken identity. It was something deeper. The forgotten floor. Beneath the school. Blueprints from 1979 revealed a sealed subbasement, long forgotten. Detectives found the hidden hatch. What they discovered would make national headlines. A hallway of rotted lockers, each containing file folder evidence from past missing students. Coat clothing soaked in blood. Teddy bear a child's drawing reading, "Don't let him put me in the metal room." They had just uncovered a serial crime scene, buried for decades beneath a school full of children. The true crime documentary 2025 team called it America's Hidden Hallway of Horror. Locker 13's final victim. Then came the biggest twist. In a metal box buried off campus, authorities found a handwritten list of names, locker numbers, and future dates. Some were already marked off. The final name? Dean Keller. Calendar date: October 20th, 2025. Dean vanished 3 days later. He was last seen standing in front of locker 13, unlocked again. School security footage showed the locker door opening on its own. Dean stepped inside. Gone. His body was never recovered. The school that never recovered. Haverton High was permanently closed. But the building wasn't demolished. Why? Because after authorities locked locker 13 inside a steel container, weird things started happening. Speaker high-volume cameras picked up whispers. FBI agents reported hallucinations. Speech balloon one security guard claimed the locker spoke his name. The government took over the site. It now operates under a different name and is fenced off from the public. Rumor has it, locker 13 is still there, locked inside an underground vault. Waiting. Feeding. They say you should never open a door if you don't know what's on the other side. But what happens when the door looks like an ordinary locker? And the thing inside is already watching you? This was what the police found in locker 13 shut down the school forever. A case so disturbing, it left seasoned detectives speechless. Subscribe for more terrifying unsolved cases. And stay tuned for the next True Crime Documentary 2025 episode. Because some stories aren't just unsolved, they're waiting to repeat. Clapperboard Part 2. The list wasn't finished. The list wasn't finished. It had been 6 months since Haverton High closed its doors. But that didn't stop the nightmares. Detective Inez Porter, retired but unable to let go of the case, still received anonymous packages. Each one is worse than the last. This morning's envelope was different. Inside wasn't evidence, it was a list. The same list was recovered from the forest. But now there were new names. 3 new names. One of them. Detective Inez Porter. "The locker isn't done," she whispered. The FBI had locked it up, placed it in a deep storage facility run by a private defense contractor called Stratton Ridge Laboratories, just outside Langley, Virginia. But Porter knew the truth. You don't contain something like locker 13. You only delay it. The Stratton Ridge incident. Security footage leaked to the dark web from Stratton Ridge showed something terrifying. Timestamped at 3:13 a.m., Camera 6 captured the steel vault shaking. No one was inside. The locker had been sealed within a titanium cage, bolted to concrete. But in the footage, the locker door opened. Smoke billowed out. And a figure stepped forward, a woman, drenched, with a decomposing hoodie. Rachel Dubois. The guard watching the monitor screamed before suffering a massive seizure. He survived, but his eyes never stopped twitching. He hasn't spoken since. The janitor who never left. Porter visited Isaiah Griggs' grave. It was still unmarked, overgrown. The original records say he died in 1993. Yet he appeared in surveillance footage for decades. She dug into the archived employment records of Haverton High. What she found chilled her. Small Blue Diamond Griggs had been accused of ritualistic behavior. Small Blue Diamond notes referenced a feeding cycle every 13 months. Small Blue Diamond students claimed he performed weird drawings near locker banks at night. One file was heavily redacted. Title: The Haverton 13 Closed Psychological Report. Sealed, Department of Defense. Date: 1994. Why would the Department of Defense seal a public high school file? Unless Locker 13 wasn't a mystery. It was a project. Back to the ruins. Local YouTuber Miles Grady ran a popular urban exploration channel. His next upload would be his last. Title: Breaking into Haverton High. What They Don't Want You to See. Fire. Calendar uploaded June 13, 2025. Stopwatch runtime 11:02 minutes. In the video, Miles slips through a gap in the fence and enters the ruins of Haverton High. But around the 7-minute mark, something changes. He enters the old hallway where locker 13 used to be. "It's gone," he whispers. "Wait, hold on." He points at the flashlight. A locker stands upright in the rubble. No number, but unmistakably, the same locker. The door opens slowly. Inside, a mirror, and a reflection that isn't his. Then, the video cuts to black. The final frame reads, "There's a door under the locker." The video has since been removed. His channel? Deleted. Miles Grady hasn't been seen since. The door beneath the locker. Porter pulled every possible record from Haverton's original foundation plans. The blueprints showed a chamber even deeper than the sealed subbasement. Something labeled D13, access tunnel, restricted. No stairs. No ladder. Just a vertical shaft. She located the access point buried beneath the gym floor, now rubble. With an off-duty agent and an ex-cameraman, she descended the shaft. What they found was worse than anything in the locker. The tunnel was lined with lockers. Hundreds of them. No numbers. All slightly ajar. Inside each page facing up, letters written in shaky hands. Camera Polaroids of students staring wide-eyed in terror. Open file folder files stamped with government seals and years ranging back to 1962. And finally, at the far end of the tunnel, another locker. The original. Locker 13. Bigger. Breathing. Yes, breathing. The metal pulsed like skin. It inhaled. Whispered. Moaned. The cameraman approached. "What is this thing?" The locker replied. In Dean Keller's voice. "Help me." The lock-in. Porter reached forward. The locker door opened on its own. Inside wasn't a compartment. It was a hallway. Dark. Flickering lights. Water on the floor. It looked like part of the school, but not one that ever existed in blueprints. "I'm going in," she said, voice trembling. She crossed the threshold. The door slammed shut behind her. Silence. Outside, the ex-agent screamed and tried to pry it open. He heard footsteps behind him. "Porter?" he asked. But it wasn't her. It was Rachel Dubois. Soaking wet. Eyes white. And smiling. The broadcast that never aired. 3 days later, the FBI received a mysterious audio transmission. It was heavily distorted but confirmed to have originated from beneath Haverton High. In the recording, Porter speaks calmly. "They were wrong. It's not a locker. It's a doorway. It was never about Rachel. Never about the school. This has been happening long before Haverton was even built. There are children here, but they don't remember who they are. Something's trying to learn. It mimics. It feeds on memory. It knows your name now." Then static. Then a new voice. "Do you want to see what's in your locker?" 2 weeks later, dozens of high school students across the U.S. received anonymous text messages. Same message. Same wording. Same timestamp. "Locker 13 is coming to your school next. We've already picked your name." One student posted a screenshot online. The post went viral. Millions shared it. Thousands reported the same message. The student. Gone within 48 hours. His locker. Unopened. Numbered 13. Clapperboard Part 3. They're building another one. The school that shouldn't exist. In a quiet suburb outside Sacramento, California, a new charter school opened in June 2025. It was called Griggs Academy for Advanced Learning. No ribbon cutting. No commercials. No announcements. Just opened. But one parent noticed something strange. Camera in every hallway photo posted to the school's internal portal. There was a man standing in the background. Janitor's uniform. Thick frame. Unblinking eyes. That's Isaiah Griggs, the parent posted on Reddit. Except, he died in the 90s. What is this place? The post was removed within hours. But not before it caught the attention of a few former Haverton alumni. And one former detective. Porter's final transmission. A USB drive arrived in a manila envelope at a Colorado news station. No sender. No postage. Inside was an audio message, timestamped 2 weeks after Porter vanished. This isn't one locker. It's dozens. Hundreds. Every generation, a new one is built. Every time it closes, another opens somewhere else. The children here aren't alive, but they remember being human. Something is wearing them like skin. I don't think I'm alone. I think it knows I'm here. If this reaches anyone, don't open locker 13. Don't answer the text. And whatever you do, don't look in the mirror behind it. Her voice glitches at the end. A second voice comes through. Hello, Inez. Then static. The child in the footage. At Griggs Academy, student Dylan Shea, 15, began experiencing strange hallucinations. He told his teacher, "My locker talks to me. It says it's not ready yet." The locker? Number 13. Security pulled the footage. At 3:13 a.m., surveillance showed Dylan sleepwalking into the hallway. The locker opened for him. He stared inside. And behind him, in the reflection of a trophy case, Rachel Du Bois. But this time, she wasn't alone. There were dozens of figures behind her. All wearing school uniforms. All pale. All watching. The footage ended in a black screen and a distorted scream. Dylan hasn't spoken since. He's in psychiatric care. The only thing he draws now? A red locker. With no door. Locker 13 goes digital. TikTok. Reddit. YouTube Shorts. Teenagers across the US started reporting a glitch in their devices. At exactly 1:13 p.m., their phones displayed a black screen with glowing red text. Your locker is ready. Most thought it was a hoax. Until 17-year-old Kelsey Romero live-streamed the moment it happened. She laughed at first. Played it off. Then she turned her camera to the hallway behind her. And her viewers saw it. A red locker standing in her bedroom. The screen glitched. She screamed. Then silence. The stream ended. Her house was later found empty, with scorch marks along her bedroom wall shaped like an open door. Her locker? Burned into the floorboards. The architect. Back in D.C., a hacker named Maverick broke into a sealed FBI server tagged Project D13. What he found was darker than expected. Small Blue Diamond, a military-funded research project on dimensional consciousness mapping. Small Blue Diamond tests conducted inside locational portals at specific locker dimensions. Small Blue Diamond survivors spoke of other versions of their schools, sometimes submerged in water, sometimes on fire, sometimes filled with copies of their classmates repeating the same sentence over and over again. The report concluded. Entity number 13 is non-verbal, but manipulative. It feeds on memory, sound, and guilt. It lures those closest to grief and replicates their emotional anchors. Recommend ceasing construction of new units. Destroy all existing. Containment is unlikely. But attached to the file? A contract. Signed by a company. Griggs Infrastructure and Design LLC. We're all assigned a locker. The final act of Part 3 begins with a new list surfacing on Reddit, shared by an anonymous whistleblower known only as Room Zero. It showed coordinates of 12 schools, each now hosting a red locker. Each located in cities where former Haverton students had relocated. But that wasn't the worst part. Attached to the file was a new document. The new list. Names. Locker numbers. Dates. At the bottom. Cycle resets. One must remain open at all times. If all 13 close, it is free. The final name? Yours. The screen goes black. And your phone buzzes. Your locker is now open. Clapperboard Part 4. The school that built itself. Coordinates to nowhere. Hacker Room 0, resurfaced with a new drop. It was a live Google Earth feed showing construction in the middle of a forested area in rural Montana. There were no roads leading in, no recorded permits, and no government authorization. But within days, aerial imagery revealed. Red triangle pointed up a cafeteria. Red triangle pointed up a gym. Red triangle pointed up and a single hallway containing 13 lockers. Exactly 13. He posted the location. Hours later, Room 0's site went offline. And his final message. It's building again. This time, it's not waiting for people to enter. It's bringing the people in. The repeating students. An investigative reporter named Trina Osei made it to the Montana site before it was blacked out by government forces. She disguised herself as a substitute teacher and uploaded a 6-minute hidden bodycam video titled, "Video Camera, Inside the School That Wasn't Built by People." True Crime Documentary 2025 footage. What she captured. Students walking in perfect lines. Hallways that looped back on themselves. Classrooms that reset every hour. And the same girl appearing in every room. Wearing a maroon hoodie. Rachel Du Bois. But Rachel wasn't aging. She wasn't speaking. Just sitting. Staring. Trina's final clip shows Rachel turning slowly toward the camera, whispering, "We're all waiting for our turn in the locker. Yours is open now." The locker without a back. The new Montana school had one defining trait. Locker 13 had no back panel. Investigators attempted to measure its depth with laser tools. The laser never returned. Thermal imaging showed a drop in temperature of 40 degrees Fahrenheit inside the locker. Geiger counters ticked into red zones. One agent dropped a camera drone inside. The footage showed flickering school hallways that stretched forever. Classrooms that bent upward like a spiral. Rows of lockers shaped like faces. And children screaming, but their mouths weren't moving. At the 9:13 mark, the drone cut to black. Its final frame, a silhouette standing in the hallway holding a clipboard. The clipboard had your name on it. The 13 Doors Theory. Reddit user at Delta073 posted a now-deleted manifesto explaining the 13 Doors Theory. It stated, "There aren't 13 lockers. There are 13 anchor points. They look like lockers because that's what the kids recognize. But it's always been 13 doors holding it in. If even one door is opened without someone going in, it starts to bleed out." Haverton was just the first. Griggs Academy was the second. The next 11? Already being built. They claimed to have coordinates for the next one, in Lagos, Nigeria. Then their account vanished. But screenshots were already archived. The theory gained traction when students at a local Lagos prep school reported hallways shifting positions overnight. And one student described finding a locker with no number. When he looked inside, "I saw my dad. Except he died 5 years ago. And he told me, 'Don't tell them I'm still here.'" The architects return. Back in D.C., whispers of Project D13 intensified. It wasn't shut down after Haverton. It was relocated. The new lead architect, Medina. Yes, Vice Principal Medina, declared dead by heart attack in 2025. Except video evidence shows him walking into Griggs Academy just last month. Still alive. Still building. Investigators suspect that Medina was never fully human after Haverton. That he, like Rachel, was copied and returned. Porter's old case notes warned of this. They don't need all of you. Just enough to pass inspection. The classroom that called out. Miles Grady, the YouTuber who vanished in Part 2, resurfaced. In pieces. Authorities received a USB drive wrapped in flesh-like tissue. Forensic techs confirmed it contained footage. On it, a classroom, empty desks, a chalkboard with one phrase, "Locker 13 is a teacher now." And then, a voice, calm and rhythmic. "Open your textbooks. Today we learn how to forget. Line up by the locker. One at a time. One at a time. One at a time. One at a time." The countdown. An app appeared on random students' phones. No developer. No store listing. Just a red icon titled, "Assigned Locker." Once opened, the app displays a countdown timer. Stopwatch 00:13:13:13. Below that, a locker number. Always 13. Those who deleted it. The app returned. With a new message. "You've already seen what's inside. Now it sees you." As of this writing, over 1.2 million users across 9 countries claim to have the app. Thousands have since gone missing. But not all disappear. Some return. Quiet. Changed. Repeating phrases like, "We can't stop it now. We just hold the door until the next bell rings." A global power outage hit 13 cities simultaneously. In each city, a red locker appeared in a public square the following morning. No locks. No hinges. No explanation. At exactly 1:13 p.m. in each location, the lockers opened. CCTV cameras cut out. When they returned, all the lockers were closed again. But something had stepped out. We don't know what. We only know the people who were watching don't remember what they saw. Clapperboard Part 5. When the bell rings, run. The Replaced. It began quietly. Parents noticed their children changing. Not physically, but emotionally. Detached. Robotic. They started repeating specific sentences like, "Don't forget your locker number." The bell rings even when no one hears it. We're not here for the lessons. We're the lesson. Doctors called it mass psychosis. Teachers said it was anxiety. But parents knew the truth. Their children weren't theirs anymore. The bell that rang everywhere. On October 13, 2025, at exactly 1:13 p.m., a sound was heard across the globe. A school bell. Not through radios. Not over speakers. It came from the air itself. Witnesses say the moment it rang, the temperature dropped. Shadows stretched unnaturally. Every digital device flashed one line of red text. Class is now in session. In over 50 schools worldwide, red lockers appeared in freshly built hallways. Hallways that didn't exist the day before. And those who opened them. They vanished. One student left a note before disappearing. They don't just take you. They use you to teach the next one. Porter's last message. A final encrypted video surfaced on a dark web board under the title, Locker 13. From inside. It was Porter. She looked aged. Tired. Behind her, rows of lockers stretching into a black void. It's not a place. It's a loop. A curriculum. They're copying memories to keep building this place. I found Rachel. I found all of them. They don't remember who they are anymore. They just recite the same lines. Each bell rings louder than the last. Each locker opens deeper than the one before. They're not trying to escape. They're expanding. She holds up a crude map drawn in blood. It outlines a perfect circle made of 13 schools, forming a symbolic grid. In the center, a location labeled the first bell. Coordinates, 0 degrees north, 0 degrees east. The ocean. The prime meridian. The origin point. And her final words. If you hear the bell, don't run. Don't scream. Just forget your locker number. Because remembering is how they find you. The video ends with the locker slamming shut. The 13th bell. A seismic event occurred in the Atlantic Ocean just 1 week later, directly at 0 degrees north, 0 degrees east. Oceanic satellites showed a large rectangular shadow moving on the ocean floor. When sonar pinged it, the returning signal wasn't an echo. It was a recorded school bell, followed by children's voices whispering, "Now we build the world in our image. Now everyone gets a locker. This is the final bell." Then silence. The curriculum. Governments remained silent. But leaks confirmed that military forces attempted to destroy several locker sites. Every attempt failed. The lockers couldn't be dented, scorched, or even moved. In some cases, the buildings rebuilt themselves overnight. In others, whole towns were found emptied, the only thing left behind. Rows of freshly installed red lockers. Then came the final incident. A student in Japan received a physical letter, written in crayon. The return address was from Griggs Academy, which no longer existed. The note simply read, "You're our new teacher. Don't be late. We hate when the bell rings without you." She disappeared the next day. Her locker remained closed until it opened itself at exactly 1:13. The world with lockers. Today, Locker 13 is no longer a location. It's an event. A presence. A process. Wherever a child forgets their name in a dream. Wherever a teacher writes the same phrase over and over. Wherever a bell rings when there's no one in the building. Locker 13 is there. You may not have seen it yet. But if you suddenly remember a locker you were never assigned, if you hear a bell at the wrong time of day, or if your phone vibrates at 1:13 p.m. with no message, it's already looking for you. And when you finally open the locker, it's not what's inside that matters. It's what walks out behind you. The end.